New at noon, Knoxville police have now identified the driver killed after a piece of metal flew into his window. Police say 71-year-old Mark Elliott from St. Louis, Missouri was killed yesterday morning when a tractor-trailer windskirt hit his driver's side window. Investigators are now working to recreate what happened, starting with how the skirt came off the truck. It happened on I-40 near the Cedar Bluff exit. The passengers managed to pull the car over safely.
Now, we don't know if that windskirt had actually come free from a vehicle as it was traveling eastbound, or if it had been on the interstate previously and had been struck by another vehicle, causing it to be thrown into the westbound lanes.
Right now, investigators are inspecting Elliott's car to find evidence that could help determine where the piece of metal came from. Police are asking anyone who is traveling on I-40 who may have seen the car being hit or items falling from or being thrown from a tractor trailer to call the number there at the bottom of your screen.